Have you ever faced a day so heavy, so exhausting, so painfully confusing that you wondered if you would ever feel whole again, like life was hitting you harder than you could survive, and every prayer felt like silence from heaven? If you've ever stood in that place where your strength felt empty, your hope felt bruised, and your heart whispered, "Lord, where are you now?" then the message of Easter isn't just a story for you. It is your lifeline, your anchor, your roadmap for the hardest days ahead. Because Easter is not about bunnies or traditions or a holiday on the calendar. Easter is the reminder that when everything looks dead, God is still writing resurrection. And maybe right now, in your life, something feels like Friday. The pain feels fresh. The loss feels deep. The betrayal feels raw, or the fear keeps circling your mind like a storm that refuses to end. But Easter loudly declares that Friday never has the final word. Maybe your Friday came in the form of heartbreak, or a financial crisis, or a relationship falling apart, or your own battle with anxiety, guilt, or disappointment. Maybe your Friday was a doctor's report, a closed door, a broken dream, or a season where you feel unseen, unheard, unnoticed, or unloved. But Easter teaches us something powerful. God does His greatest work when everything seems hopeless to human eyes. Jesus didn't rise when everything was going well. He rose when everything looked impossible. He rose when fear filled the hearts of His disciples. He rose when people believed the story was over. He rose after the darkness had done its worst. And that is your message today. Your darkness has not stopped God's plan. Your closed tomb is not the end of your story. Your silence is not your conclusion. Your tears are not God's final chapter for you. Because the same God who rolled away the stone, the same God who reversed the grave, the same God who turned death into victory, that same God is standing beside you right now in your hardest days, working behind the scenes in ways you cannot see, shaping outcomes you cannot imagine, and preparing resurrection in areas where you feel defeated. But let's be honest, when life hurts, when the waiting feels long, and when prayers seem unanswered, it's hard to believe resurrection is coming. The disciples felt the same. When Jesus was buried, they thought that the end had arrived. They had walked with Him, heard Him, seen His miracles, watched Him calm storms, open blind eyes, raise the dead, and still, when He was placed in the tomb, their faith collapsed. Why? Because pain can make you forget God's promises. Fear can make you forget God's power. Grief can make you forget what God already told you. And sometimes your hardest days make you blind to the miracle that's already on its way. But Easter reminds you that God is still moving even when you can't feel it. God is still fighting for you even when you think you're losing. And God is still in control even when everything around you looks out of control. You may feel like your story is stuck between Good Friday and Sunday morning, stuck in the waiting, stuck in the doubt, stuck in the heartbreak, stuck in the uncertainty. But hear this today. Saturday is part of the story, not the end of the story. It's the day where nothing makes sense, where God seems quiet, where the tomb looks sealed, but it is also the day heaven prepares victory. Think about it. Mary went to the tomb expecting to find a dead Jesus, but instead she found an empty grave. That means you must never walk into your future expecting the worst. God can surprise you. God can open doors suddenly. God can heal what looks broken. God can restore what looks finished. God can lift what looks crushed. God can breathe life into what looks gone. Easter tells you that your hardest days are not wasted. They are the soil where God grows miracles. Maybe your faith is tired, your strength is fading, your patience is shrinking, and you're wondering, how long will this season last? Easter answers that too. As long as it takes for resurrection to bloom. God doesn't rush his work. He doesn't skip the process. He doesn't abandon you in the middle. He takes his time to create something greater than what you lost. The cross looked like defeat, but it was preparation for victory. Your disappointment may actually be the setup for your breakthrough. Your setback may be the platform for God's glory. Your closed chapter may be the beginning of a better one. You may not see it yet, but the stone is already moving. You may not feel it yet, but resurrection is already approaching. You may not hear it yet, but heaven is already arranging what you prayed for. Easter transforms your hardest days by reminding you that God specializes in impossible cases. When the world says too late, God says, watch me. When people say it's over, God says, I'm not done. When fear says you won't make it, God says, I will carry you. When the enemy whispers you're alone, God says, I will never leave you nor forsake you. And the most beautiful part of the Easter message is this: the same power that raised Jesus from the dead lives in you. That means your soul has resurrection power. Your prayers have resurrection power. Your purpose has resurrection power. Your future has resurrection power. And no darkness, no fear, no lie, no mistake, no wound, no past, no failure can bury what God is destined to rise in your life. So take a breath today. Lift your head. Straighten your shoulders. Let hope rise again. Let faith breathe again. Let courage return again. You are not defeated. You are being prepared. You are not abandoned. You are being carried. You are not forgotten. You are being shaped. You are not at the end. You are at the beginning of resurrection. So as you walk into the days ahead, no matter how heavy, no matter how unpredictable, no matter how painful, remember that Easter is not just a celebration, it is a revelation. God brings life out of death, victory out of defeat, and hope out of the deepest despair. If the grave could not stop Jesus, your situation cannot stop God's purpose for you. Your hardest days may feel overwhelming, but they cannot overpower the God who conquered the grave. Hang on, hold tight, keep trusting, keep praying, keep standing. Because resurrection is coming, joy is coming, breakthrough is coming, restoration is coming, healing is coming, and God is not through with you yet. And before you go, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because more daily encouragement, hope-filled messages, and life-changing biblical truths are coming your way. So stay connected, stay strong, and stay blessed.